Hey, I'm back with another update. So, let's see. My last update was the night before chemotherapy, and that was a pretty stressful day. We had our air conditioning break and people in the house when we were really trying to be isolated. So, I might have been a little stressed at that moment. Um, things have been things have been better since then. Um, so I had my first chemotherapy treatment on Friday the 29th of May. That was, I think, 12 days ago. And it went great. It went really well. No setbacks. A lot of people can have setbacks, especially in their first chemotherapy treatment. There's a lot of strange reactions that can happen to the body when you get that stuff for the first time. And there's one of the drugs in the R-CHOP chemotherapy that I'm going through called Rituxan. And Rituxan's the one that causes people the most problems. And it can really cause it to take a long time to get the infusion done, and they can be really uncomfortable with the side effects. And the main reason is because Rituxan is made from rat protein, and the human body sometimes rejects it. And it causes immediate side effects, which are all kinds of bizarre things. So I was pretty nervous about that, knowing that going in. But luckily didn't have those problems. When people have those problems, they have to slow down the intake. They already give it to you really slowly, several hours. But when there's problems, it can take 8 hours or more. And they're checking your vital signs the whole time and all kinds of things. But like I said, I was lucky. Everything went really smooth. And even without having any setbacks, that whole chemo infusion process took 6 hours. So it's an all day thing, because they don't only give you the chemo drugs, they also give you saline, they give you Benadryl, and who knows what else. There's other things that go in there to make you comfortable or make your body react correctly, and some of them make you, like Benadryl made me really sleepy, which helped pass the time. And then later that day or that night, I don't know if it was the Benadryl or all the other drugs that had been pumped into my body, but I started feeling really drugged and bad, and just dopey, drugged up. And that was kind of the feeling that lasted for the next few days. They say that the worst days are the second and third days after chemotherapy treatment. And it's true, those were probably the worst days that I had. But I would not say they were really that bad at all. I had some feelings of nausea, lightheadedness, but I never threw up, never missed a meal. It was kind of hard to eat a couple times, but still was able to eat, and I never deviated from my planned A diet. But for about a week, I felt weird, sometimes lightheaded, nauseated a little bit, and just kind of drugged and weird. And I think I've learned that some of the drugs or some of the other pills that I have to take following chemo, you have to take more of them for about 5 days after. And some of them make you feel kind of weird like that too. So it's all part of it. But all in all, this has been way easier than anticipated. Way easier than I thought. Way better. Knock on wood, that'll continue in the next 5 treatments, but probably won't. There were a few times when I really wasn't feeling good or energetic, feeling really low energy, and instead of taking a nap, I forced myself to get on the bike trainer and and just move my legs, and I ended up, each time doing at least an hour on that thing, and each time, even though it was hard to get started, I felt a lot better afterward. So that was really helpful. Um, so last Friday, which was a week after the first chemo infusion, I went in for a follow-up appointment where they checked my blood and asked a bunch of questions. They said everything looked great. The blood all looked good. Um, the only bad thing was that I had lost a little bit more weight than they would like to see. And in hindsight, that's really probably because my diet was so strict, maybe a little too much so for chemotherapy. Um, it's great when you're trying to lose weight, but this is not really that situation. So I was told to loosen up the diet and to go ahead and start eating some of the things that I was really wanting to eat, like potatoes and tortillas and maybe some pasta, still no junk food or sugar. Um, and so I've done that. That night, we got In and Out, and I ate two In and Out double doubles, protein style, and fries, and it was great. And I've been eating a lot more ever since. Food tastes so good right now. Um, since I started eating more, my energy's gone right back up, and I'm basically feeling pretty much 100% normal right now. I actually, in some ways, feel the best that I have in probably 3 months. Um, but I do notice that my muscle strength is really weak, and I don't know if that's caused by about 2 months of back pain kind of strapping me down, or the chemotherapy drugs, whatever they're doing. Maybe it's some combination of that, but it's it's kind of pathetic how weak I am in some ways. Um, one result that's been obvious that's really amazing is the lumps on my neck right here that I showed you before. That's gone. It is completely gone. And there was another one even bigger in my armpit, and that's gone. Um, it's amazing that those could be, erased so quickly. I think it's normal to make big gains like that in the first chemotherapy treatment. So I'm not going to get too excited and declare victory just yet. But it's great to see that progress early. Um, I remind myself that killing the last cancer cell is really the goal here. And that one's not going to go down without a fight. It's going to be a long battle. And I also need to remember that the chemotherapy process is supposed to get harder as you go, and it will. So, we're just at the very beginning of this marathon. I've got one chemo treatment done and 5 more to go, and the hardest part is yet to come. So far so good. We're prepared for a lot more. So now that I've got my energy back, I've been checking off little projects around the house, trying to stay busy. I spent the whole weekend last weekend on a ladder painting my backyard pergola. That was a chore that some of my friends were going to take care of for me. But because I was feeling so good, I just went ahead and did it. Thanks you guys that were offering to do that. But had I known that I'd be feeling like this, I never would have considered letting someone else do that work for me, because it's kind of nice to have something to do. And it's nice to be on your feet all day long and active. It's good exercise. The next thing on my list is I want to build a planter box in the garden, and I've got a whole truckload of dirt to move starting tomorrow. I'm going to have the kids help me with the dirt work, so that'll give them something to do, something physical to work on whenever they complain about being bored. So that'll be good. Speaking of the kids, I've been able to get them out running a few times this week, which is good because now that I don't have so much pain, I can actually run, which it feels so good to do. Even if I'm running at a 9-year-old's pace and only for 1 mile, it's great to be out. Um, Yesterday, Pierce, after we ran, he said to me, "It feels so good to work up a sweat." That was such golden words. Um, I love those rare moments when the kids surprise me and say these intelligent things, unexpected. Um, those are the moments that give me hope for this next generation. Uh, so next up, my next chemotherapy treatment is in a week and a half, a week from Friday, and there's no reason to think that I won't continue to feel this good until then. So that'll be great. I'll be working hard to stay busy and active and try to get stronger in between now and then. And I'm going to be also trying to set aside some things that I can work on in the coming days and months when I'm maybe not feeling so great, because I've found that staying busy when you don't feel great is the best medicine. It passes the time and keeps my mind occupied. It's great. Um, so that's about it for the update. Just want to say thanks again to everybody for all the well wishes. It's still pretty overwhelming how much support that we're getting, and still it feels weird. Still, to be getting all this love and attention when I don't even feel sick, which is good. I'll take it. I know the hard part's coming. I'm ready for it. They say my hair is going to last another 3-4 weeks, so I'm going to keep growing out this mini mullet for as long as I can, and then it's going to be time for a whole new look. Got some ideas for that too. Stay tuned. I think that's it for now. Thanks everyone, and look forward to another update after the next chemo treatment. Take care.